Hello, welcome. Step into my office and let's talk about this DLC. The Doomsday DLC is actually more like an expansion to the original game. It does everything right. Underworld was a bit lackluster and the developers had to add more content to it to make it playable and fun. But this one is just good from the beginning. Now this will feature a lot of spoilers and the bottom line is that the DLC is worth its money, the game is worth its money, and they actually expanded the story to the point where it's interesting. It's complex, it's deep, it has some twists and turns here and there, but overall it's a pretty well designed story. So some spoilers, we'll talk a little bit about the map, then we'll visit the new items, we'll use some of the new items, and then we'll do a little bit of base building, which I think is the next element they'll expand on. I am basically 99% there'll be another DLC because they need to tie up the loose ends that they introduced in the Underworld and this one. So let's just explore the map a little bit. You arrive over here, nothing too complex in the beginning. You have a little settlement over here. But then you go into this huge laboratory where you get the ray gun. And you also have the defensive test system over here. This will basically be an upgrade to combat, to challenges, to puzzles, to even collecting items and farming. You'll see what I mean. So yeah, you will enter through here, you will go around a little bit all over the place, trying to figure the correct way, because you cannot advance as much as you like or as freely as you like. And you get the beam gun, the shelter will have an upgrade to the beam gun. You also need to get some keys to open these and to go to the next area. A little bit of an administrative area, and this is basically a kind of like an interlude to the next set of maps, which will be a city more or less. And then we also have a jungle, a pretty big jungle size. Over here you have the solitary cabin, not much to say about here. But this is a huge section with the coast lab where they used to test what happens when you put the zombies in the water and other things as well. Over here it's a scrapyard, you also need a key to get inside it. Plenty of interesting quests as well. Redwick was kind of like an interesting spot again because you would enter this place, and this place is where things got a little bit crazy because look at this, it's a full-grown lab. When I was playing the game, let's exit a little bit. When I was playing the game, I asked the developer, well, what is all of this science stuff? Why do we have huge mechs and turrets and more technological advanced stuff, but they seem to be on the basic level of society and civilization. They seem to have only civilian structures with civilian stuff. Where is all of the laboratories and factories? And they made that. They made that in this DLC. So that's what they do. They show you all of these labs where they, for example, have holding pens for the zombies, botanical laboratory. They were trying to do a lot of cool things, and you have to go something like this to guest lobby. Use the pipeworks to go to the holding pens, another shelter over there. Some bigger fights here and there with the new enemies. As you can see, this was basically an overgrown city. Well, I guess they built the lab around the cities, Redwick and Faxmile. That's a hard word to pronounce in English. And then you also have the live specimen study. So this is kind of like a lot of evidence that they didn't produce the zombie apocalypse by accident. They studied very much. They studied the zombie apocalypse, they studied the zombies, they studied the mechs, the turrets. All of this stuff was very well documented and researched. The drone control center, which kind of makes you ask more questions. How many drones do they have and how much do they know about everything? Ancient tomb excavation. So this is also a very cool idea because they basically tied in all of the notion that you have of the base game. The tombs are supposed to be something separate from the normal zombies and from the normal technological stuff. So you can imagine they're like factions. Then you have Rochester, a little city again. Supply depot, and then you also had the main base, which is not as big as it looks, but you had a few puzzles over here. You also had the Advanced Armament Bureau design, which will lead you to the executive suite where we are, and then to the ICBM, Intercontinental Ballistic Missile with a mana payload. Okay, now let's get ready for some spoilers. The game is definitely worth its money, the DLC is great, but the fact that they really expanded on the story and they added more stuff is just amazing. I think the only problem the game has now is that it doesn't have, how should I put it, it doesn't have a difficulty that is maintained throughout the game. The game becomes super easy after about 10 hours, and you can also play the DLC before you finish the main game. The three sisters are costly mistaken and returned to the motherland. We let father take the blame and pick up the pieces, just like last time. So it's pretty clear we're stuck in a time loop, but they know about us, and this is not the first time they do it, so maybe they can either trap us in a time loop, or they can just, I don't know, go to vast places. Maybe the names are the names of the developers. Because it looks like they have unearthed something ancient, and they're using that ancient stuff information they have for powers to basically build an empire of technology, money, influence, and other stuff. So they can basically do whatever they want now with the knowledge they have from the tombs. We might be the king, an ancient king, and they might be our ancient sons, or more modern humans, and we're kind of like a force of nature, or that's how they make it sound and look sometimes. Anyway, enough about the new story. One of the main features, I'll now show you the missile, that's for you to discover. You can fast travel by just clicking on a fireplace, which is huge. The game added a lot of quality of life options, added so many interesting things that help you along your way. For example, the material collector, you just click and you collect everything, so you no longer have to leave loot in hard to get places. The instant teleport, you click on the campfire, that's amazing. The rubber ducky, but this is also in the base game now. When you die, you don't even leave a body, you get all of the stuff back, so this is amazing. They just added a lot of ways for you to play, depending on your play style. And over here we have a new weapon. Sadly, the new weapon, the new gun, is basically the other shotgun. This has stun and run speed. This has run speed and slow chance and damage, only double the amount of shots. Beam gun, which is amazing, 85 electric. I think you can reach 100 electric damage with it, but electric damage is supposed to damage, I think, plants and living things, not materials, so you cannot destroy a wall from a distance. Laser sword, more or less the same thing, the same principle, but this one has a lot of critical hit damage, power attack damage, and more melee damage versus monsters. So that's electrical, and this is fire, so we're getting elemental types of damage. This is great for killing zombies, but it's not as good as the Kopesh or the Power Fist. Better than Katana. And also you can resupply with ammo your guns. So if you are using more of a gun-based build with the 2 shotguns and the rifle now, you can actually play like that as a decent build, because no matter how many zombies you kill, you can just replenish your ammo. Which is quite funny and amazing. Have a new type of grenade, it will stun the turrets. They don't do a lot of damage, so I don't really understand what they are. I guess you can consider them the turret destroyer, but they only stun the turrets and then you can go close to destroy them. Over here we have new decorations, the water furniture, I'll show you that after we're done here. And the lab coat, poison and damage block, and goggles, electric damage plus 80%. Now it says 18%, but remember we have some foods that increase your electric damage as well, so that means I think we can do about 100 damage or more with the beam gun. And that's all of the things they added, but again it's massive that you can just fast travel by clicking a button, or you can get extended wait a minute. Yeah, I can get this one. Extended the draw area for root or something like that. I think they also made an improvement to the magnet, so it's upgradable, or some other things as well. So that's not all, you have new tools, and you have a new tool in the form of the paintbrush, so you can paint walls to whatever color you like. And one of the more requested features, so these are the skills or the special items, right? Well, you have the vacuum cleaner over here that I already mentioned, but you also have this thing over here, the monster scanner special item. So just right click And you can look at all of the remaining zombies in your area. This is huge because this will let you finish the ascension signals. This will let you finish the entire area and can kill all of the zombies. Now, there's also New Game Plus, which probably is available in the base game as well, but that requires you to kill all of the zombies using the ascension signal. So you have to kill all of the zombies once at least, so they don't respawn, so you kind of complete the whole island, which is a massive task. I don't think I have it in me to do that. Also says how many you have over there. And that's about it. I don't remember if this was upgradable or not, but now it's upgradable. And before you ask, well, I did see an icon of a white laboratory or a white symbol over here, fabricator. Well, this is more or less a thing. You gather the plants, and with the plants you can upgrade your heat resistance or cold resistance, which kind of sounds like it's fun, but it's not. Because look at this, if you collect all of them, they increase your heat protection, cold protection, cold, and also your build limit, but they're very, very hard to track down and to find, so it's not really worth it. Unless you like to farm a lot. Okay, so I've shown you the weapons, the more or less everything. And let me show you a bit of a taste of the laser gun. Yeah, this goes woo. It's not a blunt type of damage, but you can destroy the railing. Most of the puzzles are something like this. You cannot fire and move. Oh, I don't want to restore the refrigerator. Okay, and that's kind of like everything you can expect. I think this has about a 12-hour playtime if you want to get everything, or most of the things, because I don't think a lot of people will get the plants. Now let's go back to our little base camp and do some... Well, I guess we don't need to do that, but I just like doing that. We'll do a little bit of base building and I'll show you what you can build now. It's probably one of the features that will heavily be modified in the full release of the game. You also have the recycler, and you can break down better items for the building items. Just in case you need some of the lower material types as well. Funny enough, you cannot use this to hook the electronics into their higher status, but it's kind of funny that they added that. Yeah, let's add that as well. So that's how they look when they are working. I guess you can... Oh, the sounds they make. Beautiful. So working base, what can I say? Now, what items did they introduce in the base building? As you can see, the spray, you can basically make your floor or your walls glow with it. And it's kind of annoying. I mean, probably depends on people's preferences. But I like it like that. So, what did they add building wise? I don't remember since when you can press B and just enter that, but you can. They basically added the microscope, laboratory bottles, test tubes racks. In the furniture they added the blackboard, mainframe, magnetic storage and the oscilloscope. Now, and this is how it kind of looks. So you can have a mad scientist base over here type of thingy. Over here is my recreation area. As you can see, we have a few things. Another recreation area where I can sleep, rest, watch TV. Also added one TV almost on every location. Now sadly, I don't really do a lot of base building because this is how I normally gather my crops using this sword, which will more or less destroy everything around it. Recreation area, and this is kind of like everything that is in the game currently related to base building. Wake up. You cannot really sleep in the bed, but you look kind of funny. Most of the things you cannot interact with, except for this thing over here. So yeah, this is everything that is in the game currently, and now you can, if you have this DLC, you can finish all of the essential signals and you can go into New Game Plus by unlocking the door in the Ark. I'm not sure if in New Game Plus you have harder to kill enemies or something interesting to do, but I think it's just the same wall, maybe with tougher opponents. But I don't want to give away all of this. It will take me forever to farm everything, do everything, and explore everything. But on the other hand, you'll have such an easy time. I'm not sure if you keep all of your weapons or not. I will not risk it. Just know that all of these items they added is especially designed so you can clear every little area of every little zombie. Huh. And it's per area. This is huge. It's super easy to use it like this. So in case you are a perfectionist and want to kill all of the zombies, teleport all over the place, and then finally start the New Game Plus, I think you get the surreal key. So you can open the surreal gate. I'm not sure. I don't remember all of this in the Ark. Yes, I don't even remember where the Ark is right now. Huh. But I know it's somewhere. Oh yeah, it's over here. So this is where the Ark is. I guess we can make another visit to it if we want. And this is how you have to farm in order to get the power fist. And that's probably technically us.
The rise of civilization was sparked by the invention of agriculture. We scoured the earth of materials. We built homes, towns, towers of steel and glass, larger by themselves than some cities of old.
That was such a cool area. As you can see, you still cannot have weapons over here. So that's the entrance. Okay, I guess we can check a little more. I forgot. And I guess we can use this elevator and see where it leads us. Ark level 2 underground. So that's why they prefer the temple setting, because it's kind of a little cold and that's how they got their powers. Oh! It opens automatically, that's amazing. This is how created our beautiful power fist. More mana to build extra campfires. So as you can see, he knows about the careful planning and some other things. The phone isn't ringing yet. I guess this is the motherland phone, if I look at it again. There used to be campfires over here, but I guess they added towers to make it look more interesting. Huh. So I guess the surreal doorway is over here. Let's look at this from this perspective. So that's probably a manual way to reset everything. Remember, you cannot destroy anything, so probably this is where you have to come after you destroy all of the zombies and have all of the ascension signals placed. Very, very interesting. Anyway, see you next time. Bye bye.